We just got another huge leaks reel, but what's crazy is I believe we got at least 3 major cinematic leaks for the crazy cinematic movie level trailer that is going to come out for the open beta of Illuvium. Now, if you don't believe me, I will go through it and I will point out everything I think is directly pulled from the cinematic or directly talks about lore in the game, and we'll cover all of that off today. But first, let's check out the entire leaks reel. It only goes for about 2 minutes, but it is awesome. You can see a lot of these are idle animations meant for the overworld. These ones here. It gets real quick. The first thing I should mention from this is that this is a soundtrack designed by the Illuvium team. They have a lot of unique sounds going into the game, some and many that you have never heard before. And we'll quickly take a look at this tweet from Kieran, the CEO of Illuvium. He says that there is 206 unique creatures, 7 environments, 120 plants, a lot of variation in ranges, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. 25 different morphopods, 750 plus skins, which is insane for any game to consider. 350 plus emotes, which I don't believe until I see it. I'm very excited for that though. 10 plus battle boards is absolutely awesome and crucial. 50 plus armor, 100s of items, hundreds of augments, 450 Illuvitar bases, 100 plus different backgrounds, 50 plus Illuvium Zero buildings, and 20 plus unique songs composed. Even though this April highlight reel didn't seem like it had that much in it, to an outsider from the Illuvium community, it all stacks up. We don't see things twice in Illuvium. Everything we've seen there, we haven't quite seen in that way before. And there is so many of that has happened in Illuvium's history over the past 3 years. And it really shows off that there is so much going into this game. A lot of it we have just never seen before. And let's jump into the leaks and some of the really interesting things. This animation happens right before the Scion image pops up, and I believe this is a Scion animation to show that the synergy has been achieved. And it's probably different stages. Maybe this orb is really big or this size when it's 7 Scions on the field, and maybe it's smaller when it's 5 Scions on the field, and even smaller when it's 3. And so that's showing that the Scions have been activated on the opponent's side of the board, which is really cool. This thing was really interesting. It was some sort of simulation environment. I don't know exactly what it means, but we know that survival mode is a simulation in Illuvium. But when we go a little bit further into the video, we can see that a character in the top right-hand corner has said, hey, come back to the armory, someone you need to meet, scan your ID. So I believe this is a part of the initial tutorial. I don't know if this will be in private beta 4, but it will definitely be in the open beta. And it looks like it will kick off the very start of the game and explain a lot of the lore and other world building aspects of the game. So I'm very excited to see where that takes us. But further on this, I think this is a part of the same tutorial, explaining the world, how it came to be, and how you arrived. We already know Aaron has mentioned multiple times that your ship actually crash lands, and that's how you end up in, I don't know if it's necessarily Sanctum Mesa, but that's how you end up in the world of Illuvium. This shows me that maybe they've crash landed here, and then a bunch of drones from an ally or an enemy are scanning the ship to see what's wrong with it and how you might be able to repair it. Maybe you have to go on mini missions around Sanctum Mesa, repair your ship, that you could take off to visit the other regions of Illuvium, or something along those lines. Would be really, really exciting. But this will be a large part of the overarching story-driven elements of Illuvium. Obviously, I'm guessing here, but I'm really confident that that's what we are seeing here. It's also clear that the drone that is with the Ranger is Mozart, and I think that is the Buck drones are the ones looking after the wreckage. And so it's clear that the Ranger's drone is Mozart, and these other drones are unrelated to this Ranger in some way. After that, we've got another battle board animation that signifies that you've activated this composite synergy. Or it could be the nature synergy. My guess is it's verdant, but it could be nature, or it could be bloom. But I really think it's verdant. If you think it's something else, let me know down below. But this is another really awesome activation of that synergy. After that, we have the level up UI. Now, this is more important than just there's leveling up in Arena, okay? For one, leveling up alluvials is a really crucial part of fusing them and evolving them. This is a really great way to be able to level up your alluvials for free. Don't forget that. In the game, if you want to go into a region and level up your alluvials, you can go for free to the T0 region and probably not get that much XP, or it seems like you'll be able to get quite a bit of experience points in the Ascendant Arena. So that is a really cool way to level them up. But not only that, this proves that it's going to go for all of the games. If we have a kart racer in the future and you're racing around with a ram fight or something, that ram fight will level up at the end of the race, which really ties together this whole interoperable blockchain gaming experience. This next one is crazy. Power threshold. Whoop, that way. Power threshold. I have no idea what this means. Now, I suspect that a higher power threshold will give a higher power to the Illuvatars, but I don't know how you increase it. My best guess is that if you have a fire doka and another fire doka, you can burn one of them to upgrade the other one. Because they've been looking for ways to burn Illuvatars that people simply don't want, kind of the junk Illuvatars to a lot of the players in the game. After that, we've got the hair. The hairstyles is one thing, but I'm mostly interested about the color. It looks like they've taken all of their fur and other expertise from the alluvials, and they've implemented it into the character customization. It looks like you're going to be able to get a wide range of different styles, colors, and features in the character customization. I don't know when that's coming out, but it should be really awesome and will really lend itself into future MMOs and things like that. Obviously, myself personally, I always go for like red hair and red eyes ever since becoming Scoriox, and I love it, but that's just me. Okay. So next we have suit stages into how they're going to look, which I think is absolutely awesome. To me, it's clear here that the 3 are flipped around. Stage 2 is in the correct place, but 1 and 3 are probably in the wrong spot. But if we look on the left here, what I assume is stage 3, it looks really, really cool. I'm loving the way this is coming together. Next up, we have the Forge. Currently, the Forge is just like a screen, and that's it. But it's great to see that Sanctum Mesa, although it kind of looks a little bit generic in terms of all the buildings and things like that, it's going to evolve, it's going to adapt, it's going to become a whole lot better in the future. I cannot wait for the whole Illuvium world and the Illuvium universe to evolve over time with its players. As people are coming in and building up this world, the entire narrative is going to evolve and move forward. And I think that is an amazing part of Illuvium. So the first lore leak was the training simulation. Okay, I forgot to mention that's what I thought was a lore leak. This, I believe, is a lore leak because it kind of talks about the technology and the ways Illuvium is building. For all we know, alluvials are all a simulation. I have no idea why they need so much simulation tech, but I feel like it feeds heavily into the lore. And the next two are this. We see this image of a giant drone. Now, why is it grainy? I've done a lot of different rendering and things like that. This is kind of what it looks like when it hasn't finished rendering out. Maybe this goes to 1,000 samples and it's a gigantic image and it needs to go to like 10,000 samples or 20,000 samples, which would not be a shock if they're rendering out the main cinematic in 8K. So instead of rendering out this frame for 1 hour or 30 minutes, they've rendered out this frame for like 10 minutes just to throw it in this leak because Llama thought it was a good idea. I really believe this is a part of the intro cinematic. As you can see, the Ranger and drone are not textured at all. I don't know. That's just my feeling. If you disagree, let me know. And the last one is this. Now, this could be concept art. Very, very possible. But the way the lights are bouncing, the way the colors are showing off of the different objects, and the absolute shininess of the Ranger makes me feel like this is actually taken from directly inside the cinematic. This is also a character we've never seen before. It would be weird to do a concept art with a character we've never seen before. All the ones we've seen previously have had Arlen in them. And so I think this is a part of the lore and the story, especially early parts of the Illuvium main cinematic for the open beta launch. You can see the shininess, that sort of stuff is really hard to do with art. If this is concept art, full credit to them. It's an incredible piece of work. But I reckon all those reflections and things are CG generated. And then the general quality of this image is definitely from a cinematic level, not from a game design level. This is from a movie level scene. And all those reflections makes me feel like it's coming out of the cinematic and it is computer generated and not drawn. And so they're visiting some weird area. This could be some sort of Crimson Waste location that isn't actually in the game, but is in the cinematic, or something from like Halcyon Sea or something like that. And yeah, this gets me more excited than ever. You can also see the drone on the ground, which is something we saw in the initial cinematic gameplay reveal trailer with a drone running next to Arlen, which it wouldn't be a shock if they replicated this again here. If you agree with my thoughts, let me know down below. If you haven't registered for Private Beta 4 yet, what the hell are you waiting for? There is not much time left. Register for it right now, or you are going to miss out on one of the greatest opportunities in all of crypto, in all of gaming, and in all of crypto gaming.